What's up gang, and welcome back to part 2 of my 100 days challenge, in which I am surviving 100 days in my bedroom. If you didn't see the last part, make sure to check that out first. But if you've not got the time, then here's a quick recap. Last time, honestly, nothing important really happened until I tried to eat a frog and met God. So let's just jump straight back into that. I woke up on day 72 after returning from my trip with God. I spent some time questioning whether or not that had counted as me leaving my room and in turn failing the challenge. But my door was still shut, and I decided that God wouldn't want me to fail my challenge on her account, so I decided it didn't. After working that out, I realised that a lot had changed while I'd been away. For a start, my bedroom had split into two nations, one around my epic base called the Epic Isles, and one near the window. The Spiderdom. Ruled over by the one creature that had escaped me once before. This must have been what the prophecy in that one book had foretold. If only I had been able to understand the strange text around it, I may have seen this coming. Realizing all of this, I knew there was only one thing to be done, so I spent the rest of the day searching the Epic Isles for a lighter. On day 73, I remembered that I would still need my bedroom after the challenge was over, so burning it down probably wasn't a great idea. Having completely exhausted all of my ideas, I decided to just ignore the Spiderdom for now, and instead focus on building up the stability of the Epic Isles. As the only citizen of the Epic Isles, there wasn't much of a power struggle. After announcing my coronation and becoming King Henry of the Epic Isles, I decided to spend the day crafting an epic flag in hopes of intimidating the Spiderdom. It's pretty good, right? Yeah, alright. It took me like 5 minutes. I didn't have any of my art stuff. I decided to continue establishing my nation on day 74 and tried to create an epic national anthem for the Epic Isles, before remembering that I have no musical talent. It's just epic and cool, all here by myself. There's no spiders about, it's just me here. Just me with no spiders, so epic and cool. Yeah, no. Work in progress. We'll get there. Having realised that I couldn't do everything the Epic Isles needed me to, on day 75 I decided to establish a council. I managed to find 2 dogs and a cat to help me rule my nation. Unfortunately, none of them had any musical talent either, so all in all it wasn't a very productive day. On day 76, I knew that the Epic Isles couldn't stall for much longer, so I met with my council in secret and we spent the next 2 days creating a battle plan and preparing for our inevitable war with the Spiderdom. On day 79, we were ready to meet the Spiderdom in battle, but it turned out they were a peaceful nation who actually had no intention to fight us, so we returned to the Epic Isles peacefully. On day 80, I once again remembered that I would need my bedroom after the challenge was over, and I didn't want the Spiderdom to just be in it, but a declaration of war. Because storming a defenseless nation would have been a super boring conclusion, as king of the Epic Isles, I decided to give the Spiderdom a few days to prepare themselves, and so I went over to the Spiderdom to tell the king of my decision. Just shut up, the Spiderdom's gonna fall, yeah? He was not happy about it. We spent the next 2 days in the Epic Isles doing an epic backgammon competition. The competition was fierce, but naturally I won. On day 83, By day 83, I had accidentally forgotten about the war I'd instigated until the Spiderdom decided to attack us and destroy the epic fort that had been the foundation and home of the Epic Isles. With the Isles largely destroyed, me and my council had no choice but to hide on the bed. We spent day 84 trying to work out how we'd sneak over to the door to collect the food my mum brought up. Working with my council, we decided the safest bet would be if one of the dogs pretended to betray the Epic Isles and infiltrate the Spiderdom so that they could move around without risk. On day 85, we remembered that we'd actually spent 2 days creating a plan of attack, and there was no reason that we couldn't just still do that, but first we needed Dog 1 to come back to us. We spent day 86 waiting for Dog 1's return, but when he failed to deliver us dinner 2 nights in a row, we realised that the worst had happened and that Dog 1 had actually betrayed us. We were going to need something significant to overthrow the Spiderdom now. On day 87, we took our only option left, after double checking that there weren't any lighters lying around, but it seemed that the Spider King had already hidden them all. So, remembering the Spiderdom had once been a peaceful nation, we decided to ask for peace to be returned. The Spider King accepted, but Dog 1 knew better. He'd played backgammon with me, and he knew that I only chose to double the stakes and try and force my opponent to forfeit when I knew I was winning, which is what it is there for. But still, he could see that much like in backgammon, I wasn't really forfeiting. I don't think this metaphor actually makes sense. On day 88, Dog 1 came out of the ruins of the Epic Isles to try and work out what we were scheming, so we trapped him. Just like that, he's trapped now. With Dog 1 out of the way, on day 89, Dog 2, Cat and I were finally able to enact our plan on the Spiderdom, and after remembering that I wasn't actually scared of spiders, we cupped the Spider King and threw him out the window. The Spiderdom had been defeated, and now the Epic Isles could rebuild. On day 90, I celebrated by forgetting to wake up. I spent day 91 to day 99 rebuilding what had once been the great nation of the Epic Isles. Ignore that I'm taking a decade. Look, I just really wanted to clean my room before I started living a normal life again. And I spent a bit of time wondering what had happened to my apple tree. Until finally, to celebrate on day 100, I took the time to take in everything that I'd been able to accomplish in my bedroom over the last 100 days. So that's it, gang. I've learned a lot over the course of these last 100 days. A lot about resilience and commitment. Mostly about spiders. And then I took a nap. See, Sally, I told you I could commit to something. I told you 100 days, that's huge. I know what commitment is. Come on, Sally. Please respond.